Sometimes the smallest photos say the most. Not a red carpet moment. Not a big announcement. Just a mother and her daughter's boyfriend walking down a New York City sidewalk, caught mid-conversation in a picture that wasn't even supposed to be about height, until it very quickly became exactly that. Because when Lola Consuelos posted the photo of her mom, Kelly Ripa, strolling beside her longtime boyfriend, Cassius Kidston, fans didn't just see two people out for a walk. They saw a visual so striking, so almost comedic in its contrast, that it instantly became one of those images people screenshot and send to their group chats with 3 words. Look at this. Kelly, in a pink trench coat, looked every bit like herself, polished, warm, unmistakably present. And beside her, towering by what looked like a full foot or more, stood Cassius, dressed simply in black, matching her stride but dwarfing her frame entirely. Lola's caption was short and sweet. "Favorite people ever," she wrote, tagging them both. No big reveal. No dramatic storyline. Just a daughter, clearly happy, showing off 2 of the most important people in her life standing side by side. And yet, that's exactly why it worked. That's exactly why people couldn't look away. Because here's the thing about Kelly Ripa's public life, it has never really been about the headlines. It's been about the in-between moments. The elbow nudges. The eye rolls. The inside jokes. She and Mark Consuelos have built an entire television show around for years. Audiences didn't fall in love with Kelly because she's a talk show host. They fell in love with her because she lets people in. She shows the mundane, the funny, the slightly embarrassing, and somehow makes all of it feel like something worth watching. So when a photo like this surfaces, it's not just a funny picture. It's a continuation of something viewers have come to expect from her. Honesty wrapped in humor, wrapped in love. Let's talk about why this height difference photo actually matters beyond the obvious punchline. For starters, it says something about comfort. You don't casually stroll down a city street with your daughter's boyfriend unless there's an ease there. Unless the dynamic has moved past politeness and into something closer to familiarity. This wasn't a stiff, posed introduction. This was 2 people who've clearly spent enough time together that a walk through New York didn't need to be a big deal. It just was what it was, normal, easy, unbothered. And that detail alone tells a story that a headline never could. Because for any parent, watching your child fall in love with someone means slowly, quietly, letting that person into your life too. Not performatively. Not for the cameras. Just, in the small ways. A walk. A conversation. A shared laugh caught candidly, without either of them realizing how sweet it would look from the outside. There's something deeply relatable in that, even for viewers who've never met Kelly Ripa in their life. Almost everyone has had that moment, meeting a sibling's partner, a child's boyfriend or girlfriend, a best friend's new person, and feeling that quiet shift from stranger to maybe this one's a keeper. Kelly and Mark have talked before in their own way about how much they've come to appreciate the people their children have chosen. Mark has joked more than once that their kids simply have good pickers, a lighthearted way of saying something much deeper, that watching your children choose partners who feel right is one of the quiet, understated joys of parenting once your kids become adults. That's the emotional undercurrent running beneath this photo. Not the height difference itself. That's just the hook, the visual that makes people stop scrolling. The real story is what the photo represents. A family expanding. A circle widening. A mother making room. And Cassius isn't some new addition to the family orbit either. By now, he's become a familiar face in Kelly and Mark's world. Someone who's joined them on vacations, sat across from them at dinner, been woven into the kind of family life that doesn't happen overnight. Relationships like that build slowly through repetition. Through showing up. Through being the guy who's there for the ordinary days, not just the highlight reel ones. When a family lets someone in that consistently, it says something about how genuine the connection has become, not performed for an audience but lived in privately long before the public ever saw a glimpse of it. It's worth pausing here to think about why audiences respond so strongly to details like this in the first place. Celebrity culture often gets criticized for feeling hollow, for reducing real people's lives into headlines and reactions. But every so often, a moment slips through that feels different. A moment that isn't about fame at all, but about the universal experience of family evolving. Kids growing up. Partners becoming part of the fabric of a household. Parents adjusting to a new chapter where their children's happiness is being built alongside someone else's. Viewers connect with Kelly Ripa specifically because she doesn't hide those transitions. She's talked openly over the years about the strange ache of watching her kids leave home, about learning to loosen her grip, about redefining what her role looks like now that her children are adults making their own choices. So when a photo like this surfaces, lighthearted as it is, longtime fans read it with a little more depth. They see not just a funny height gap, but a mother who has clearly embraced the next phase of her family's story with open arms, quite literally walking alongside it. And then there's the humor. Because let's be honest, the internet loves this stuff for a reason. There's something universally funny about extreme height differences, especially when they're framed with such casual normalcy. Nobody in that photo looks uncomfortable. Nobody looks like they're posing to make a joke. It's simply two people who look wildly different in stature, existing together in total ease. That contrast, the absurdity paired with the warmth, is exactly the kind of thing that makes people feel good scrolling through their feed. It's not mean-spirited. It's not mocking. It's the kind of humor that comes from affection, the way families tease each other because they love each other, not despite it. It also doesn't hurt that Kelly and Mark have built an entire public persona around embracing their own physical quirks and differences with humor. Long before this photo, fans already knew about the couple's own height gap, something they've joked about themselves in the past, poking fun at how their proportions don't always match up perfectly in photos. So in a strange way, this new picture almost feels like a continuation of a running joke the family has always been in on. It's not a stranger poking fun at Ripa's height. It's a daughter clearly laughing along with the same joke her parents have made for years, just from a new angle. That's the kind of consistency that builds real audience loyalty. When a public figure's humor feels authentic, repeated naturally across years, across different family members without ever feeling forced, people trust it. They begin to feel like they know the family, not just the celebrity. And that's precisely what has made Ripa's brand of storytelling so enduring. It isn't built on scandal or spectacle. It's built on relatability, on the small comedic and emotional beats of everyday life that just happen to unfold in front of an audience. There's also something worth noting about Lola herself in all of this. She's not a teenager anymore, tentatively introducing a boyfriend to her famous parents for the first time. She's an adult in a long-term relationship, clearly secure enough in that bond to share it publicly, warmly, without hesitation. The way she captioned the photo, simple, affectionate, unbothered by the height joke that would inevitably follow, shows a young woman comfortable in her own life, comfortable blending the people she loves most into one frame, quite literally. And maybe that's the quiet takeaway underneath all the laughter this photo sparked. Families change shape over time. They stretch to include new people, new dynamics, new inside jokes. Sometimes that evolution looks like a big, emotional milestone. And sometimes it looks like nothing more than a walk down a city street, caught candidly, shared without pretense. Ripa has spent decades letting audiences into her life in exactly this way, not through grand statements but through small, honest glimpses. A joke about a hand she can't reach. A comment on a birthday post. A quiet moment of trust, captured mid-stride, that ends up saying more about family, love, and growth than any headline ever could. Perhaps that's why people keep coming back to moments like this one. Not because of the height difference itself, funny as it is, but because of what it represents. A mother making space, a daughter building her own life, and a family finding new ways to laugh together as it keeps growing. So what do you think? Did this photo make you smile the way it made so many others smile? Do you have a favorite Kelly and Mark family moment that stuck with you over the years? Drop your thoughts below, because if there's one thing this family keeps proving, it's that the most memorable moments rarely come from the spotlight. They come from walking beside the people you love, exactly as you are.